Hey everybody, I'm up here in North Cascades National Park, northern Washington, getting ready to embark on a hike or a backpacking trip rather up to Sahale Glacier Camp. If you aren't familiar, this is probably one of the most popular hikes in North Cascades, if not one of the most popular hikes in like all of Washington. And spending the night on this trail or anywhere in North Cascades National Park requires a backcountry permit. Got that taken care of, and you need one of these bear canisters to safely store your food in this area. If you want to know more about how the backcountry permit system works in North Cascades, I will explain that at the end of the video, and I'll give you some tips on how to have a better chance at scoring a permit for some of the more popular trails where it can be really difficult to get a permit. So stay tuned for the end of the video if you want to hear more. Time to go head out, find somewhere to spend the night on the way to the trailhead, get my backpack ready, and then I'm hitting the trail early in the morning. I will see you guys then. Easily one of the most scenic trailheads that I've ever been to. The road was closed for a whole year because of a washout, so I thought I was going to be hiking an extra 6 miles round trip up the closed road, but thanking my lucky stars, the road opened like right before my hike. This hike is kicking my ass. So I've hiked all the way up this arm to here. I think I just reached the campground. Looks like the goats are getting into my neighbor's tent. Uh-oh. Cheers and good morning. Just here drinking coffee in the most beautiful place in the mountains that I've woken up, I think. Yesterday I was so exhausted. It took me like 6 hours of grueling uphill hiking to get up here. I pretty much set up my tent and then lazed around for the whole evening. Feeling better after getting some rest. I had the option to stay up here for 2 nights, but I think the weather is supposed to get worse as we get closer to tomorrow, so probably gonna pack up today, sadly. But I'm enjoying my time here. Ugh, the bugs are enjoying me. Oh, man. Getting a little close there, buddy. Keep going. Well, I'm debating whether I should be hurrying to pack up and get out of here before the rain gets worse, or if I should sit tight in my tent and see if it passes. That's the mountains for you. I got packed up just in time for the rain to pick up again. Now it's time to make the very long voyage back down to the car. Hell of a hike getting up here, but the campsites and the view are amazing. Obviously the weather up here can take a turn for the worse at any time, even if it wasn't forecasted, so one thing to know about this place. But hell yeah, it is beautiful. Whew. You see, Washington's really got it figured out as far as these scenic high alpine toilets go. Anybody need to take a poo? Glad I packed up what I did, because it's pretty down bear is so close to the trail. Wow. And he does not seem to give a damn about the hikers. I made it! Phew! I hope you enjoyed watching this adventure, and as promised, I'm going to give some information and some tips about how the backcountry permit system works in North Cascades to hopefully help you have a better chance at landing a permit for that hike that you want to do. From the time frame of about the start of June through the end of September, a percentage of the permits are reserved for online advanced reservations through recreation.gov, but some of the permits are saved for the last minute day of permits where you can show up in person at one of the North Cascades ranger stations the day of your trip or the day before your trip to try to get a last minute permit instead. I will give a little breakdown of both of those options because I have gone through both processes. Online reservations for the summertime permits begin with an early access lottery starting in early March for about 2 weeks. During this 2-week period, the national park allows people to apply to the early access lottery, and then shortly after that, you are notified of the time slot that you're awarded for when exactly you can start reserving your permit during that early access window. So if you're really lucky during the early access lottery, you might get told that you are allowed to start choosing your permit date like the first day of the early access period. Worst case scenario, you have to wait until the end of the early access period to get to pick your reservations. General sales online start on April 26th on recreation.gov. This opening day for general sales on April 26th is more like a first come, first serve feeding frenzy, like trying to get tickets to the hottest concert. And unless you're online right when the sales start, it's going to probably be difficult to get a permit for one of the really popular hikes. So anyways, if you don't get a permit earlier in the year during the early access time or when the general sales start online, you can show up at the ranger station the day of or the day before your hike. If it's a busy time of year, like Labor Day weekend was really bad, any other kind of holiday in the summertime or even on the weekends for a popular trail, you're going to want to show up the day before your hike, probably not the day of, because the permits go fast. When you show up the day of or the day before your hike, you have to get there at, I think it's like 7 a.m. that they start pulling numbers. So you show up, you pull your number, and then they start going through the numbers in the order that they were pulled, and you will find that no matter how early you get there, some days, there's already going to be like 50 people that have pulled a number before you, and you're thinking, how is this possible? I got here at like 5 a.m. Well, they actually put the number booth out at the end of the day after the ranger station closes, so you can show up at the end of the day 2 days before your trip, be the first one to pull your number, and then when you show up the day before your hike, you've already pulled your number, if this makes sense. And I actually learned this from the National Park Rangers, so I am just sharing with you what they told me. If you're gonna show up at the last minute for a permit, show up not the day of, not the day before, but the night before that when the ranger station closes. Pull your number then. and then you will have a really good chance at getting a last-minute permit. So, hard to explain, and I hope this all makes sense, and I really hope that it helps someone out there get a permit if they've been struggling to get a permit for one of the more popular hikes. I think the permit system is an awesome thing because it helps protect these places from being over-trafficked and keeps them nice for everyone for generations to come. So this is just what we have to work with. Anyways, thank you so much, and yes, please give this a thumbs up on YouTube. If you're watching it on YouTube, it'll really help my channel out. Anyways, happy hiking, and I wish you all a great rest of the summer. Thanks.